we landed following B Company, and as General Moore just said, it was the crescendo of the battle started shortly after we landed near my 3rd platoon, and I was at the CP waiting for the other platoons to arrive by helicopter. When I heard the increasing volume, I waited a bit until the platoons came in, and then I went over to where the 3rd platoon was, and I found that the lieutenant had been killed, Lieutenant Taft, and the platoon had pulled back because there was a creek bed that plays a key role in this battle. The platoon had occupying that creek bed, and that creek bed was the sort of main avenue of approach into our position. The enemy was coming down, and that had a fierce initial engagement. And one of the things, as General Moore just said, one of the things he drilled into us was that we weren't going to leave anyone behind. And when I went up to the platoon sergeant said, I asked, "Where's Lieutenant Taft?" And he said, "Well, he's in the ditch. He's back in the creek bed." And I said, "Well, you can't leave him there." So I went forward to the creek bed to recover Lieutenant Taft's body, and there was another soldier still alive in the creek bed that had also been left behind. But I wasn't thinking straight, so I'd gone out there to grab Lieutenant Taft, so I grabbed Lieutenant Taft and brought him back, which meant I had to go back because I had to go get the soldier that was alive. And while I was in that creek bed, you could see the enemy throwing hand grenades at me because they were going off right over the edge of the creek bed, but they had little weak hand grenades, and you could see these black puffs of stuff going off, but didn't. Myself and my radio operator, a great soldier named Sergeant Jack Gell, went out there. The battle goes on for a while, and then there's a lull. All this time, one of the things to learn about being in intense combat is that you're sucking up all your adrenaline. You're getting at the end, by 4 o'clock, 2 things had happened to us. Number one, we were out of water because in battle, there's a poem by Rudyard Kipling called Gunga Din. It's about when you're in battle, you will do your work on water, and you look the blooming boots, and that's got it. So we were out of water at around 4 o'clock or 4:30. General Moore calls myself and B Company. There's a platoon that's been cut off, and he says you have to go out and assault and get that platoon back. And the company's tired, thirsty, first time combat, taking casualties. Not sort of in the best emotional condition that time. So I got most of them together in the creek bed, and I gave them a little pep talk about, we've got our buddies out there, we have to go get them, whatever. And to a man, they said, "Yeah, let's go, Gary Owen." And so we assaulted, and it was terrible. I mean, it was, and Joe, it was during that assault that Joe, much to his credit and to his honor, when his platoon was pinned down, got up and assaulted across an open field, carrying a small anti-tank weapon, and with M16 rifle, knocked out a machine gun position that was had his platoon pinned down, was causing casualties in his troops. That battle lasted for about an hour, and we had become intertwined with the enemy, the tall grassy field, and we couldn't see them, they couldn't see us, but we were both together, lying down in this grassy field, killing each other. And eventually I didn't think we'd make it through them. By that time I had 14 dead and 20-some wounded in my company, which I only went in there with, like, I think less than 100 men. So we pulled back. And at that point, again, thinking from my perspective as a company commander, the one thing that I remember is being really, really, really tired, and being really, really, really thirsty, and had sucked up every bit of adrenaline that existed in my body, and all I wanted to do was lie down and go to sleep. But that's what you cannot do. You know, what you have to do at that point, and this is, if you remember nothing else, remember this, that when you as a company commander or as a platoon leader or as a squad leader, you have a duty to your soldiers, and at that moment of being totally exhausted, you have to find another ounce of reserve to enable you to suck it up and do the things you know have to be done, like, you know, making sure your soldiers get the ammo resupplied or redistributed, make sure you get water. You have to walk, check where your platoons are joined together. You have to check where they join the other companies. You try and reorganize your company because you've lost a lot of leaders. You know, in that assault, I lost all my platoon leaders. Joe got hit. I lost all my radio operators but one, my forward artillery observer. They were all killed standing right next to me. So anyway, when it gets really, really tough, you got to suck it up and do what you've been trained to do.